own that. Now, let me, before I bring Angelo on, I don't know how Angelo is going to respond on the 3rd and 3. But before I do, I want to set it up for him like I set it up for Gary Cobb. I want to show you the disconnect between the head coach and the coordinator. Right here. The game was not going in a position where you were scoring a ton of points. You had already surrendered a field goal. Your quarterback had lost A.J. Brown and was predictable. 7 catches for Devontae. That stupid stuff that Britton Covey, 6 catches for 4 yards apiece. Those were dumb. You think Raheem Morris was worried about that? He wasn't. So what happens? What is the one cardinal rule you can't have when you're going for a score at the end of a ball game? You know what that is? Don't stop the clock when the team doesn't have a timeout. You can't do that. It's the cardinal sin, especially when you haven't gotten pressure and you couldn't stop the run. Sam Darnold's completing passes, and he's 2-0 in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is clearly going to. So what happens? Throw the pass. And you're going to go like this. Well, Saquon Barkley, he should catch that. No shit. You know what Brady would do? Take the sure thing in the layup. Run the ball. You take 30 seconds off the clock. Then guess what you do? You had a timeout left. Line up. Atlanta can't stop the clock. You line up at 4th down. The guy has to start it because why? It was a run. You would have taken 60 seconds off that clock at the end of the game and made that charge down on that game-winning drive even easier. But you know what that was? That was a miscommunication between the coach and the coordinator because you know why? They're not on the same page. And then at the end of the game, what would Brady do? Throwing a 35-yard chunk play or getting one of the best field goal kickers in position to kick a field goal? Are your coaches not talking to the quarterback about this? Elliott needed 14 yards for a true shot at winning the game. He's made a 61-yarder. What's up? What did Brady do against the Rams? Man, he kept going like this. Hey, what is he doing? What is he doing? Won a Super Bowl doing that. Cincinnati last week, Kansas City. You want to watch a game? You want to know how to win a game? Quarterback has 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers, really 3. They won a ball game. That's football IQ. I blame the coaches and the situational play calling, and most notably, the head coach, because he's in charge of what to do with 2 minutes and 2 minutes at the end. You get the book here in the Bible. I don't know what Angelo's going to say. But then you have the guy at the press conference going, I didn't call that. He did. What? Are you guys not on the same island together? Or are you guys on a different boat or something? This guy can't be Italian. He's got to be a Frenchman. There's not a chance. He's a Northern Italian or he's got to be somebody because that guy can't be Italian because we're in it together, me and Angelo. Here it is, baby. Let's bring him up here.
As my grandfather would have said, he's a stunad.
He's a stunad. That's holy cow.
But I'm not on board with you. And I got to tell you why.
Okay.
And you're right. Everything you said is very logical. And I don't think it's the story. I think the story is that the defense had to make a play, 70 yards, $1.50 left on the clock, no timeouts. Do you realize, Dan, that if they had played the clock down, there's still a damn good chance with a minute to go that Kirk Cousins would have brought him down and scored anyway? Drew Lock last year in Seattle, backup quarterback, 92 yards. The defense has to make a freaking play. And here's the thing. Here's how I know that I'm right about that. Because I got an absolute deluge of emails today for people saying, the minute the ball bounced off Barkley's fingers, they all said, we lost. The other team had 70 yards to go. Less if you pooched it. There's a lot of ways you could have played that and even eaten some of that clock away. No, they kicked it in. Here's 70 yards. We're going to stop you. No, you're not. We've seen this. You blew 4 games in the final minute. 4 games in the final minute. That defense did it. That defense is no better this year than it was last year. You just took Bradbury out because he got hurt. You put Mitchell in. He got burned twice. Big plays, big chunks, not there. And then big play slack. No play slack. He gets burned on a corner route. And that's the game. No, Dan, I'm not saying it was brilliant, and I am blaming the coach for a lot of it. But the defense has to be good enough to stop that drive, or you're not going anywhere anyway.
No
That's
question.
the bottom line.
How about this? This is why I started out my first thing here, and I start at the top here with Howie Roseman. I'm going to tell you why. Well, you knew the scheme that Vic Fangio runs, too high safety. You know that. Well, when you decide to get trash can tight end or linebackers, and you bust on the 30th pick at Nolan Smith, who was horrific,
Awful.
and then that Bryce Huff, what a liability he was on the field. I mean, I could not believe that he could not set the edge. They had no rush, no pressure, and the most disappointing thing, Angelo, was the 2 tackles getting gashed. 13th pick and the 9th pick. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't develop pressure. This is on Howie putting the talent on that roster for Vic. I mean, hey, it's one thing for you and me to draw a scheme up and go, here's what I want you to do. It's another thing if we're going to blame Barkley for not executing that play. Don't you have to blame the players and also the people that put those players in that scheme?
Yes.
Because, again, 100%. That was a talent issue last night on defense.
The two big tackles have been a horrendous disappointment through 2 games. Huff has been worse than that. You know, he took 32 snaps, Dan, and didn't make a single play. Did nothing. 0. Other than getting squalded whenever they had to run. They ran right over him, right? I'll say this. Barkley made 1 play. He stuffed that run on 4th down. That was a great play, right? The rest of them, who do you trust to make a play in a final drive of the game? Who? Is there anyone there?
No, there's nobody on defense that makes nobody.
The one guy, 10 years ago, Brandon Gray. All right. Yeah. He could make a sack. Last year, maybe Hassan Reddick.
Or Fletcher.
Or Fletcher Cox. There's no one there now. You didn't replenish it. You have some guys that are too old, some guys that are too young, guys that are not developing into big-time talent. That defense, I'm telling you, Dan, you're going to talk about that defense after almost every game this season because it's bad, and there's no way to fix it. Vic Fangio, love him or hate him, he has already been has been dealt a hand that he can't win with.
No,
he can't win with that group of players. They're really bad. Maddox hasn't gotten his big injury yet. That'll come any day now. Then Dean will go down because he can't get through a month without getting hurt. And then they'll be on their second level of guys. No, this team, I'm back to 5 wins again. I never moved from it.
Nope, you didn't.
But when I saw what I saw and just the way it all comes down to when you're a fan, how confident do you feel in a moment? And I'm telling you, the moment in that game was after they kicked the field goal to go up 6. And you were giving the ball to Kirk Cousins with no timeouts and 70 yards to get. And I'll bet you more than half the people at the link said, we're screwed. That tells you how bad your defense is. And that it happened exactly. There was nothing about that surprised me. Nothing about it that surprised me. What Joe Buck said today, he had never seen any meltdown quite like that in his 31 years of broadcasting. And I went, well, you missed last season because we had 3 of them. It's and Sirianni is just, when somebody asked him who called the 3rd and 3 play, he accused the reporter of trying to stir something up.
I heard that, and I heard that.
I'm asking you a question. You're the freaking head coach. Who called the play? How do you feel about it? Do you talk to him? Is there any communication between you guys? Once again, what exactly are you doing, Nick? We can't tell.
Oh, I know what he does. He runs down the sidelines and gives headbutts to Gardner Johnson. I mean, You know,
What an idiot.
I'll say this to you too. How about this? Were you shocked though that the offense was so vanilla without AJ when you have Barkley, Goddard? Where's Goddard? You pay him $15 million, Angelo. I mean,
Right.
where is he? Dotson, you had 25 pass routes with him, 1 catch. I mean, Devontae, I know they're going to go to him, but outside of that, there wasn't, I can't believe that offense just looks so predictable and not good with one guy being off that team. Is that guy really that important that he really moves the needle on that offense for them to be a Super Bowl contender?
I know when I'm watching, Dan, and it's 3rd and 5 or 6 or 8 or 12, I'm looking for number 11. I think he's the guy. He is a great player. And Devontae proved he was good. But see, I'm not pinning this so much on the offense because to me, Hurts had a hell of a game. Hurts played great. Hurts ran the way he ran 2 years ago.
It was 22.
That was the one guy they really could not contain. And he went to it as often as he needed to. I thought he made great decisions. You're right about the last pass. That was a ridiculous play call. And it was begging to be intercepted.
Where does Nick come in, though, Angelo, and say, wait a minute, we're not doing that chunk play. We're coming in here. Do you think that disconnect between the coordinator and the quarterback and everyone else in that coaching staff, where's your communication with everybody? Wait a minute, we're not doing that. Let's get Jake Elliott in a position to kick a field goal here and at least have a high percentage chance of winning at home. I mean, you passed on 3 points earlier. You knew you were not scoring points. You had AJ that wasn't in the game here. Why would you make a chunk throw like that when you know it's a low percentage opportunity for him to complete that? I mean, it just looked like situational play calling. Again, he may not be calling the plays, Angelo, but he was calling the situation, and I think he failed in a lot of places last night. And I'm talking Sirianni.
All right, first of all, you've got to take the field goal in the first quarter.
Take the field goal with no A.J. Brown?
What the hell are you doing? Aikman's head is exploding, and he's going, wow, analytics and all this stuff. And believe me, that's what decided it, not Sirianni. You understand? In the corner of the ESPN screen, they had their own analytics saying, well, the analytics kind of slightly favors going for it. Screw that. I watched football for 60 years. Kick the field goal. What are you, stupid? All right, that's number one. But I don't think, this is my theory on those play calls at the end here. I don't think Sirianni has the authority to overrule Kellen Moore. I think if he waved off the 3rd and 3 pass, or he waved off the chunk play.
Well, then what's your role?
They didn't bring Kellen Moore in to be overruled by a guy who acknowledged 3 years ago he's a bad play caller and handed it to Shane Steichen. You really think all of a sudden?
No, I don't. But Angelo, right. here's where 23, the first sign of adversity pops up, and you and I have been saying, is he going to get in the way here of this, or is he going to have some kind of head coaching authority to make a clear decision that's his? You're really giving the last part of the game. Think about how crazy this sounds, Angelo. The head football coach of the Philadelphia Eagles is putting the faith of the entire team in a position coach. I'm like, well, what's your freaking role?
Yeah.
You have to have a role in that moment.
Kellen Moore would not have taken the job if he didn't have a guarantee he had authority over the play calls. He wouldn't have done it. And furthermore, you are now lobbying for Sirianni. Are you familiar with his work as a play caller?
No, I'm not lobbying. No.
You don't want him to have that authority. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't care what the.
But it's the setup that I'm bitching at. It's the setup.
He doesn't know how to coach an NFL team.
Agreed.
So they found a way to stick him on the sideline to high-five his players after they make a play and otherwise do nothing. The offense is run by Moore, the defense by Fangio, special teams by Michael Clay, and all the strategy is determined by analytics, which is led by Jeff Lurie, the owner's son, Julian. There's nothing left for him to do but to make an ass of himself at the news conferences before and after every game, which, by the way, he did again today.
He surely did. Angelo, now it's being reported that there's going to be multiple weeks that A.J. Brown will be out.
Yeah.
Take a look at what we have coming up here. You got a red-hot Saints team with Kamara getting 4 TDs. You want to hear something about the Saints? 14 drives, 14 scores. The Bucs go up to Detroit, and they win that game up in Detroit. You know, you've got now the Bucs playing better. By the way, the Bucs since December 6th of last year, December 3rd of last year, they're 10-3 with a win over the Eagles in the playoffs. They're not playing poor football, and you've got this red-hot Saints team. Can you imagine if you go into the bye, you're 1-3? I mean, wow.
You're going into the bye 1-3. I'll tell you that right now. You're not winning either of those 2 games. But I put out an all-points bulletin today for anyone in the Philadelphia area who has the COVID virus, because I'll come to your house so you can breathe on me, so I don't have to take the trip to New Orleans this weekend. Because I am taking 170 hardcore Eagle fans to Bourbon Street.
I love you.
And then we're being led into the Dome to watch the Eagles get drawn and quartered.
Hey, by the way, if anybody has botulism, Angelo wants you to breathe on him. So he doesn't go to New Orleans.
I'll take anything. I'll take an infected hemorrhoid. I'm not fussy. This trip is going to be a disaster. I know it is. The last time I did one of these was when we went to LA and Wentz blew out his knee and they won the game. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, but we didn't know that then.
Like the Malloy. You're like the Malloy. You're like the Malloy.
The Malloy, I didn't even get there yet, Dan. But I know what's coming. Derek Carr's looking at that film going, oh, I wish we could play today. They're going to eat him alive. There's no way the Eagles can stop the juggernaut that is that New Orleans offense right now. Oh, man, they're going to get – this is going to be ugly. Man, ugly.
You better give me some Powerball numbers, because I think you're looking more right than I think you know here, man, because, Angelo, this doesn't get better. It gets worse, because this is like a follow-up to what happened in 23. They haven't addressed it because the guy's still in the building.
Exactly. What you saw yesterday was 23. It was the exact same thing. And you knew it, you felt it, and then it happened exactly the way you did. And nobody could do a damn thing about it. Nobody could. So I'm looking at them going, all right, defensively, are they good against the run? No. They're not good against the run. Are they good against the pass? No. They're not good there. Are they getting turnovers? Hell no. What are they doing? So every time the other team's on offense, you're in trouble, automatically in trouble. And I don't think the game Sunday is going to be close like it was last night, because it's not a home game, and other teams are going to plan a little better for Hurts than the Falcons did, and nobody is stopping New Orleans.
Okay,
nobody.
I'm asking you this.
It's going to be ugly around here next week.
Do you think that Sirianni is a worse coach than Chip Kelly?
Oh, God, yes. The only debate I have right now is Sirianni versus Rich Kotite.
Rich Kotite won a couple 11-win seasons.
Listen to me. I talk to all these guys. When you talk to them every week, you develop a real sense for who knows what he's talking about and who doesn't. And even Kotite had more knowledge than this guy did. This guy, it's like you went out and you said, all right, we got to get a guy. We got to cast for this position of head coach. Who can we get who's young and kind of exciting on the sideline? And then we'll do whatever the hell we tell him to. That's who they got here. This guy is Fugazi. You understand? He's not damn. This guy is bad. Keep showing me his record. I don't give a damn. He stinks. Shane Steichen laughed. He stinks. This guy is bad.
All right. I got two last
ones. Bad coach.
I got two last ones here for you, Angelo. What's the Yachtsman thinking right now?
The what?
The Yachtsman.
Oh, right now, he didn't sleep great last night, but it could have been. It's possible that the fancy food in the box upset him. I don't know. But when he was watching that last drive, this is the thing about having an awful defense like this. He knows it too. He's sitting there going, "Oh no, we're not going to blow this one like we did last year." And then they did. When you sense it and then it happens, that's worse. So today there were meetings, lots of meetings. And I can tell you right now, they're all looking at each other now going, we should have gotten rid of Sirianni. They're already saying it. We should have gotten rid of Sirianni.
First sign of danger. First sign of danger. They're in that room.
Well, it's not ever them.
No, I got it.
Who could it be? Who you want to blame? You want to blame Hurts? He did everything he could, right? Howie's not going to take responsibility for a very flawed defense, right? Let's blame this guy. We'll get rid of him at the end of the year and find another yes man.
Wow, Angelo. So you're hanging on your 5 wins.
I'm it may be too many. I've got emails today saying,
wow,
when did you become such an optimist? I only see 3 wins.
Wait a minute. Now, I get called a professional antagonizer, but I think I think that I'm more grasshopper and you're more the Sunseed, because I think I've learned this from you, because I get called the professional antagonizer, bud. After that loss last night, when they lost that game and Drake London caught that in the back of the end zone, I went, it's too late. I'm going to call Angelo in the morning. I got to get the voice of reason on me here.
I live in this city, and I love when the Eagles win. It's the best city in the world to be in that week, right? But when that last play went for the touchdown, even before the interception, I laughed. All I could do was laugh. Like, the wheels have come off, and they don't know it yet.
I started
They're running into a wall, and they don't see it. That defense is the whole story. It's bad. And the coach that is behind all of it, he's bad. And you can't win with a bad defense and a bad coach. It's going to be a rotten year.
I posted a line of his. He looked over at one of his coaches and he goes, I know what the F I'm doing.
Yeah.
I posted it on my Twitter page and I'm going like, really? I'm really not saying it. Angelo, boy, I'll tell you what. How's the book doing? Because it has to be doing
great.
It has to be
at
doing great.
AngeloCataldi.com. I'll even put on there, Nick Sirianni sucks. I'll sign it right on there for you. No extra charge.
He's giving you a freebie. Angelo, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Danny.
You got it. The great Angelo Cataldi. I laughed too. I did. When Drake London caught that in the back of the end zone, I laughed. I won't lie. I laughed too. I did. I did. I laughed. I got to take a time out here. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. We'll wrap this miserable day up. By the way, where are we on the like list here? You guys have been great. Moving forward, what do we do? What do you do? Shit, I've got top 10. I still got more things to get to. And I could do another 2 hours. Where are we right now on the like list? 5 is too many. That's what Angelo said he thinks. 390. Guys, I need 10 more for 400. Let's see if we can get to 400 by the end of the program. Keep it here, National Football Show.
He's blocked well and tries to